Most people think a prenup is the smartest way to protect their money before marriage. Billionaires don't. Everyone remembers the Achraf Hakimi divorce saga. It convinced millions of people that protecting your wealth is all about one clever trick. But billionaires don't think that way. The divorce that truly changed how the ultra-wealthy protect their fortunes cost Jeff Bezos $38 billion. After that, protecting a fortune became something far more sophisticated than simply signing a prenup. And that's exactly what these 7 levels reveal. Level 1. Protecting a paycheck. At the bottom of the celebrity wealth ladder, most prenups aren't protecting a fortune at all. They're protecting a paycheck that hasn't happened yet. It's an agency-drafted template, the same kind a family lawyer might use for any couple with a mortgage and a savings account, adjusted slightly for someone whose income happens to come from a record deal or a rookie contract instead of a salary. There's no fortune to fight over yet, so there's nothing dramatic to negotiate. Just a clean line drawn around whatever exists before the wedding. So a future success, if it comes, doesn't automatically become shared property by accident. This is the level almost every young celebrity actually starts at, whether or not they say so publicly. An actor with one small franchise role, a musician with a single modest hit, an athlete on a rookie deal. None of them have anything close to what a lawyer would call a complex estate. The agreement is short, the negotiation is quick. Both sides usually sign it without much drama because there isn't much yet to fight over. But fame is rarely static, and neither is money. The moment a career actually takes off, the entire calculus changes, and couples suddenly need a document that does something a standard prenup was never built for. Control not just what each person owns, but how each person behaves once real stakes enter the marriage. Level 2. Protecting your marriage. At this level, a prenup stops being about money and starts putting a price tag on trust itself. Lawyers often resist writing these clauses at all, since they're notoriously difficult to enforce in court. That hasn't stopped some of the most recognizable couples in the world from doing it anyway. Mark Zuckerberg's prenup with Priscilla Chan reportedly requires the couple to go on one date per week and spend at least 100 minutes of uninterrupted time together outside the office. Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake's agreement reportedly attaches a $500,000 price to infidelity, a specific number tied to a specific fear. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's prenup reportedly required Urban to seek treatment if he relapsed into substance use he'd already been public about. Months after their 2006 wedding, he did check into rehab, and the marriage held anyway. What's notable here isn't the dollar figures. It's what the clauses reveal. Each one is a legal document built around the single thing that couple feared most walking into the marriage: infidelity, neglect, relapse, turned into language a court could theoretically enforce. But even the most carefully worded behavior clause has a blind spot. It can govern what two people do to each other. It has no power at all over the thing that often becomes the single most valuable asset in the entire marriage: what one of them creates. Level 3. Protecting your career. At this level, the hardest thing to protect in a marriage isn't a person's behavior. It's something that doesn't even exist yet. For musicians and performers, the real fortune usually isn't the house or the car. It's intellectual property. Master recordings, publishing rights, royalties, licensing deals. Assets that often don't exist on the wedding day and can multiply many times over by the time a marriage ends. Courts have to decide, frequently without much precedent to lean on, whether that growth belongs to one spouse alone or becomes shared simply because it happened during the marriage. Ariana Grande's prenup with Dalton Gomez reportedly went further than most, barring either party from ever writing a book about the relationship. on top of language ensuring she wouldn't owe him spousal support. Even with all of that in place, the divorce settlement still included a $1.25 million payment to Gomez and a split of proceeds from their shared Los Angeles home. Proof that even a well-drafted catalog-focused prenup doesn't guarantee a clean or inexpensive ending. This tier marks a real shift in what a prenup is even trying to do. It's no longer listing what someone already owns. It's trying to put a value in advance on things that might never have existed without the relationship itself. And once a couple's combined fame stretches across state lines instead of sitting inside one house, an entirely different problem shows up, and it has nothing to do with what's owned. Level 4. Protecting your empire. At this level, one simple question can decide whether someone loses hundreds of millions of dollars. Which state's laws even apply? This is reportedly the exact situation facing Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce following their recent wedding. Public reporting has tied the couple to New York, Rhode Island, Tennessee, Missouri, and Kansas. And at this scale of geographic spread, a prenup can't simply list assets and move on. It has to lock in which court, which state, which set of laws governs everything if the marriage ever falls apart, since the wedding location alone doesn't decide that. For Swift, an agreement at this scale would reportedly need to address master recordings, publishing rights, tour revenue, and trademarks. The same catalog concerns from the level below, just dramatically larger. For Kelce, it would need to cover NFL compensation, endorsements, and retirement assets from an active professional career. Attorneys who spoke to the Washington Post this month called it close to unthinkable for a couple this wealthy not to have some agreement in place, even though neither has confirmed one exists. What this level exposes more than any before it is how much a prenup depends on the legal terrain surrounding a marriage, not just the marriage itself. It can lock down jurisdiction and protect a specific list of assets as they exist on the wedding day. But it says nothing about what happens as those assets keep growing, year after year, for as long as the marriage lasts. Level 5. Protecting the marriage's lifespan. At this level, some couples stopped asking a prenup to freeze a number and started asking it to reward time itself. Reality television has produced some of the most detailed public examples of this, mostly because these disputes tend to get litigated openly rather than settled quietly the way most celebrity divorces are. Lisa and Lenny Hochstein's prenup, revealed in detail during their divorce, reportedly guaranteed Lisa $1.5 million if the marriage reached 10 years, with an additional $200,000 owed for every year beyond that. It also reportedly guaranteed her $1,000 a week in personal spending money and a monthly retirement contribution, but only for as long as the marriage stayed intact. It's a genuinely clever structure, turning loyalty into a line item in a way a standard prenup never attempts. But it's still just paper, a contract that depends entirely on both parties honoring it and a court eventually enforcing it if they don't. Eventually, billionaires stop trusting paper altogether. At the very top of the wealth ladder, the richest people in the world decided a signature wasn't enough of a guarantee and started moving the money somewhere a prenup can't even reach. Level 6. Protecting what outlives you. At this level, the goal isn't surviving a divorce anymore. It's making sure a fortune never has to. This is where lawyers largely stop writing prenups in the traditional sense and start building trusts instead. Legal structures that move ownership of a fortune outside the marriage entirely. So no single document, no matter how carefully worded, is the only thing standing between a spouse and half of everything. When Jeff Bezos married Lauren Sanchez in 2025, the agreement reportedly protected his stakes in Amazon, Blue Origin, and an extensive real estate portfolio, while still reportedly providing for Sanchez if the marriage ended. Arrangements at this scale typically take teams of lawyers, not a single meeting, and often combine a traditional prenup with irrevocable trusts that shield assets regardless of what the prenup itself says. It's part of why some of the largest fortunes in the world remain difficult to fully account for, even during a public, high-profile divorce. The money was never fully inside the marriage to begin with. It's the most airtight tier on this entire list, built to prevent the exact outcome every level before it has quietly been trying to avoid, which makes it almost impossible to believe that the same person now protected by all of this once lost more money to a divorce than almost anyone in history, because he skipped every one of these protections the first time around. Level 7. The $38 billion mistake. One piece of paper. $38 billion. That's the cost of skipping everything on this list. In 2019, Jeff Bezos divorced Mackenzie Scott without a prenup in place at all. No trust, no jurisdiction clause, no escalating scoreboard, none of the protections that exist at every level above this one. The result was a settlement of roughly $38 billion in Amazon shares, instantly making Scott one of the richest women alive, built entirely on the absence of a single document that, at his level of wealth, most lawyers would consider close to mandatory. He wasn't the only one to learn this lesson the expensive way. David Geffen married without a prenup in 2023, despite a reported $9 billion fortune. And when the marriage ended, the divorce finalized this past April played out largely under California's default community property rules, instead of terms he'd chosen for himself. Hugh Jackman's divorce from Deborah Lee Furness stalled for nearly 2 years over an unprotected $250 million estate. For the same underlying reason, without an agreement in place, there was no pre-negotiated answer to fall back on. Only a long and expensive fight to build one from scratch. Bezos, at least, appears to have learned from it. His second marriage came with every protection his first one lacked. The trusts, the asset separation, the careful planning that now defines the top of this list. Whether Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce end up protected the same way, somewhere between the multi-state complexity of level 4 and the fortress-level planning of level 6, is something only their lawyers know for certain right now.